Alexander Grayson stood before the bathroom mirror, feeling a strange mixture of determination and anxiety. The man staring back at him was a stark contrast to the successful businessman he had once been. Gone were the crisp suits, the polished shoes, and the carefully groomed appearance he had once relied on for confidence. Instead, he saw a man just scraping by, a struggling veteran with haunted eyes, a disheveled appearance, and a heavy heart. He had spent hours transforming his appearance, deliberately wearing worn jeans, scuffed boots, and an old military jacket found in a thrift store. In the wallet he carried was a false identity. James Cooper, a former Army sergeant now working multiple part-time jobs while battling PTSD and mounting medical bills. This was not just a game. It was a mission born from deep-seated concerns about his own flagship dealership, Grayson Auto Group. "Are you sure about this, sir?" Jackson, his head of security, stood in the doorway, concern etched on his face. "We need to know the truth about our dealerships," Alex said firmly, adjusting the jacket to disguise his fit frame. "Numbers on a page won't show me how my employees treat the customers who need our help the most." Jackson's expression remained serious. "If something goes wrong, it could jeopardize everything." Alex practiced his limp, an old military injury he usually concealed, and felt a rush of emotion. "Something is already wrong, Jackson. The complaints from veterans and struggling families are piling up. I can't just sit in my office anymore. I need to see what's happening." Jackson's eyes flickered with doubt but ultimately nodded, understanding the depth of Alex's resolve. "Okay, but I'll be watching the feed closely. If anything goes sideways, we may need to pull you out. Do not intervene unless I ask for help," Alex insisted, a steely determination in his voice. "I want to see the raw reactions. If they think they're safe from consequences, there won't be real change." The plan was set. As he drove to the Highland Avenue dealership, anticipation bubbled within him, a mix of worry and hope. Memories of his own struggles after leaving the service flooded back. He fought against the tide of frustration, concentrating on the road ahead. When he arrived, the gleaming showroom filled with luxury cars loomed before him, a place of promise that felt alien in his current guise. Through the glass, he could see polished salespeople engage with well-dressed customers, each interaction dripping with the air of exclusivity. Alex took a deep breath and adjusted his worn jacket. The ringing endorsement of the Grayson name hung in the air, but today he was determined to see it from the other side. The twinge of fear in his gut amplified as he reminded himself to stay in character. "You're James Cooper now," he thought, "a man just trying to make it." As he crossed the threshold into the dealership, a chill swept over him. The warmth of welcome he envisioned was replaced with a sense of alienation. It was as if the air grew thick with unspoken judgments. The automatic doors slid shut behind him with a finality that acted as a seal, locking him into this role. "Sir, can I help you?" A security guard, someone Alex knew well, approached but quickly assessed him, eyebrows raising in appraisal. "I'm just looking to buy a car," Alex said, keeping his voice rough with practiced uncertainty, eyes cast downward. He felt Tom's scrutiny, assessing his worn attire, and noticed the tension before it erupted. "Do you have an appointment?" Tom's voice was curt, dismissive. "Didn't know I needed one just to look around," Alex replied, irritation creeping into his tone. "I served this country for 8 years. I thought that might mean something," he added, fighting to maintain a facade of vulnerability even as the hurt stung. Tom's discomfort was palpable, but reluctantly lowered his hand, allowing Alex entry into the showroom. It became immediately apparent that competition was fierce. The salespeople swarmed around more promising customers. As Alex navigated through the rows of gleaming cars, he sensed a wall of indifference rising around him. He approached Marcus Reynolds, one of the top salespeople at the dealership, who was engaged with a couple in designer clothing. "Excuse me, I'm interested in—" "I'm with customers right now," Marcus interrupted sharply without turning, his smile evaporating. "Someone will be with you eventually." A knot formed in Alex's stomach. The couple glanced at him, confusion mingling with pity, but offered no support. It was a system designed to filter out the unwelcome, to prioritize profit over people, and Alex felt the weight of that truth crash down on him. Moving past the luxury vehicles, Alex turned to Andrea Chin, a newer saleswoman with promise. "I'm hoping to look for used cars, something reliable but affordable. Try to buy here. Pay here lot down on Marshall Street." She replied with barely concealed disdain. "They're more suited to your situation." A sharp pain lands through Alex. Here was the reality of the cruel business he had built, a world in which, for all its shine, there lay an ugly underbelly. A group of salespeople glanced in his direction, snickering, their laughter seeping into Alex's skin like poison. "The VA offices downtown," one sneered. "This is a car dealership." Steeling himself against the humiliation, Alex pressed forward. Approaching Richard Morton, the celebrated manager known for his results-driven approach. "I'm looking to buy a car. I have some savings, but my credit's not great due to medical bills," Alex stammered, drawing on every ounce of willpower to maintain the facade. Without glancing up, Morton waved his hand dismissively. "This is a premium dealership. We have certain standards. I don't have time for this." He was a soldier. A voice broke through the haze of negativity. It was David Carter, a young salesman who had been working in the dealership for a short time. Suddenly, all eyes turned toward him. "I'd be honored to help you," he said, a spark of genuine kindness lighting his expression. "Thank you for your service." The moment felt surreal, like a breath of fresh air cracking through suffocating despair. Alex's heart swelled with gratitude. It was the simple acknowledgement he hadn't expected. Yet, around him, the atmosphere shifted. Morton's voice cut sharply through the budding hope. "We don't have time for charity cases. Get back to your work, Carter." Alex, taken aback by the unapologetic cruelty, realized that this young man was standing on the precipice of a difficult decision. Could he maintain his courage in the face of corporate loyalty over moral conviction? Morton continued, "Every minute spent here with someone like him is a minute lost on real customers." David stood firm, the conflict palpable. "Sir, every customer deserves our best effort. It's not just company policy. It's basic human decency." Alex felt a surge of admiration for David. For the first time today, he sensed a flicker of change, a resistance against the toxic culture that had taken root in his dealerships. "Do you even know his story?" David pressed, his voice steady. "He deserves respect." Morton's laughter was ugly. "Just look at him. He's a waste of space. People like him don't belong here." Heat surged inside Alex, not out of shame, but fury as David confronted the manager. He was watching a battle of character unfold right before his eyes. A young man risking everything for integrity. He needed to intervene not as the head of the company, but as a fellow soldier who recognized the cost of silence. And just as Alex was about to step in, he took a deep breath, reminding himself of his mission. He must see this through to understand the truth buried beneath the surface of this empire he had built. But deep inside, Alex began to realize that this was no longer simply a hidden camera operation. This was a reckoning, a chance to expose the very rot that had taken root in the heart of Grayson Auto Group. As he watched the confrontation unfold, Alex understood the next move would be crucial. Would David's bravery be rewarded? Or would it be crushed by the cold, hard floor of corporate machinations? He felt a shift within him, an understanding that the latent injustices he had ignored for too long were now coming to light. And for all the challenges ahead, Alex knew one thing was certain. Something had to change, and it had to start now. The stakes had been raised, and today would mark a turning point, not just for him, but for the entire company, and perhaps even for all the veterans who walked through these doors. The power of humanity was at play, and its ripples were destined to transform the culture of Grayson Auto Group. Alex felt a surge of determination course through him. He was prepared to fight for what was right. The game had begun, and the ultimate question lingered in the air. Would they emerge from the shadows, or continue to wallow in the darkness? The silence in the showroom was deafening after David Carter's brave stand against Richard Morton. All eyes turned to Alex, still cloaked in his guise as James Cooper. He felt the tension thickening the air like a storm cloud ready to burst, and he knew he had to act. He couldn't stay hidden in the shadows any longer. This was the moment he had both dreaded and anticipated, the moment where his true identity might change everything. David, standing at the front of the office, remained stalwart. "Sir, if you could—" "Let me make this clear, Carter," Morton sneered, his face a mask of fury. "You're wasting your time. This gentleman doesn't belong here. He's not a real customer." Just then, Alex felt something shift inside him. A wave of resolve washed over him, pushing aside the character he had painstakingly crafted. The soft-spoken veteran persona began to crumble as a thunderous voice threatened to break free. "Stop, Morton," Alex said, his tone surging with authority, the weight of his words thickening the air. "I've had enough of this nonsense. You don't know a thing about who this man is, or what he's fought for." David's eyes widened, realization dawning on him. Alex straightened his back, shaking off the disguise of insecurity. "This is my dealership, and I understand now that I've allowed a culture of indifference to flourish right under my nose." Morton scoffed, glancing at the other salespeople who lingered with mixed reactions, some clouded with doubt, others resonating with curiosity. "Your dealership? What are you going to do? Hand out sympathy and handshakes?" Alex stepped forward, his voice steady and powerful. "I came here today aiming to understand the issues plaguing our company. I've heard the whispers of discrimination and neglect. Veterans like James Cooper—" "Who?" Morton interrupted, sneering derisively. "You mean the homeless guy you picked up off the street? The veteran who served his country and deserves respect?" Alex shot back, his voice rising slightly with emotion. "That's who. The same man you dismissed as unworthy of your attention." The room shifted, the tension teetering on a blade's edge. Some employees exchanged glances, awareness settling in as the hypocrisy of their actions began to sink in. "Do you think treating someone like him poorly helps the bottom line?" Alex continued, his voice gaining momentum. "Do you honestly believe that belittling those who serve lays a strong foundation for our success? The way you're treating customers is simply disgusting." Morton's expression morphed from defiance to uncertainty, but he quickly masked it beneath a layer of aggression. "You don't know what you're talking about. We run a business, not a charity. So this is just a money game to you?" David interjected, his tone laden with disbelief. "Do you care about anything other than your commission?" "I care about results," Morton replied, trying to regain control. But Alex could see cracks forming in his bravado, and the tension was palpable as he continued. "It's funny," Alex said, leaning slightly closer, "because the results you're so proud of are built on a foundation of shame. I've watched employees avoid, judge, and mock men and women like James, people who fought for our freedom. Is that really the legacy you want to leave?" The dead silence was shattered by the rustling of uncomfortable movements as some salespeople shifted their weight, beginning to challenge their own beliefs about what they were doing. "Look around you," Alex urged, gesturing widely. "There's a whole culture of fear in this room, a fear of genuine connection and compassion. It's easier to brush people aside, isn't it? It builds your numbers, makes that paycheck a little fatter." As he spoke, Morton's face twisted with rage. "You're just a washed-out soldier pretending to know what it's like to run a business," he snapped, desperation slipping through. But Alex didn't waver. "I'm not pretending, Morton. I know exactly what it feels like to serve, what it means to sacrifice. I turned my life around and built this company for people like James Cooper so they could have a second chance, not be discarded like yesterday's news." Morton scoffed, but there was a flicker of uncertainty in his gaze. "You think that's what this is? A pity party?" "It's a humanity party, and you're not invited." David stepped in again, unwavering. "Any more of your tactics, and you'll find there's no place for you here." Hearing David's words, a quiet understanding spread among the employees. They were starting to see the bigger picture. This wasn't just a battle between individuals. It was a struggle for the values their company stood for. "Let me make it clear," Morton growled, still trying to regain the upper hand. "You're both out of line. I'll report this to the board." And with that, Alex knew Morton was rattled. This was his last effort to assert dominance, but the power dynamic was shifting. "Report it," Alex challenged. "Let them hear about your discriminatory practices. Let them know what you've turned this dealership into, a carnival of consumerism, an arena where people's worth is judged by their bank account. I promise you they'll be as disgusted as I am." The crowd of employees stirred, murmurs rippling through the showroom as they absorbed Alex's words. Tension hung in the air as whispers of doubt began to challenge Morton's authority. Time seemed to stretch in that moment, each second pregnant with possibility, waiting to collapse under the weight of the truth being unveiled. "Let's settle this right now," Alex finally declared, feeling a surge of adrenaline. "David Carter, you're the only one in this dealership who deserves to be recognized. Your integrity has shown what real leadership looks like." David's eyes widened in surprise, a mix of gratitude and disbelief washing over him. "Sir, Effective immediately, I'm promoting you to general manager of this location. You'll oversee operations, implement a training program centered on treating every customer with respect, and ensure we create a culture of compassion." Gasps filled the room. Employees exchanged stunned glances as disbelief mingled with hope. Could this be a chance for real change? "I don't know what to say. Thank you, but—" "No buts, David," Alex cut him off gently. "This isn't just a title. This is a responsibility. We are going to change the culture here. Are you in?" David straightened, nodding earnestly. "Absolutely, sir." Gripped by a newfound energy, Alex turned back to Morton, who still stood, red-faced and defeated. "And you, Morton," he began, his voice filled with resolve, "I can assure you, the board will hear everything. I suggest you start updating your resume." Morton stood frozen, a smirk of arrogance slowly fading as the realization of his impending downfall set in. The crowd around him began to break into quiet murmurs of agreement, and the tide had clearly turned. "Effective immediately, those who participated in this culture of cruelty and neglect are dismissed," Alex declared, his voice strong and clear. "We are going to put an end to this madness. We will hold ourselves accountable." A wave of cheers broke out among the staff, some clapping, while others nodded in understanding. It was a defining moment, marking the beginning of a new era at Grayson Auto Group. With the remnants of Morton's threat hanging in the air, Alex felt a spark of change begin to ignite, a bright beacon of hope that would guide them forward. "Let's show the world how we treat our customers," Alex said, looking at the enthusiastic group around him. "Let's show everyone that at Grayson Auto Group, we are more than just a business. We are a family that stands for what's right." As he surveyed the room, the conviction in their faces inspired confidence and hope. It was now or never. The battle might have just begun, but the outcome was already shifting. Through the haze of adversity, Alex turned to David once more, feeling the electric charge of possibility between them. Together, they would lead a revolution, one that would not only reshape a company but redefine how they served their community. The future was bright, and as the collective energy of the employees surged around them, Alex knew this was just the beginning of a new chapter for Grayson Auto Group. The fight for dignity and respect was far from over. It had only just begun. As the days turned into weeks, the transformation at Grayson Auto Group continued to unfold like petals of a blooming flower. With David Carter at the helm as general manager and Alex supporting him wholeheartedly, the dealership became a model of customer care and employee engagement. But the ripple effect of their changes reached far beyond the showroom floor. One crisp afternoon, the dealership hosted its first-ever community outreach event. They invited veterans, active military personnel, families in need, and the local community for an afternoon of fun, learning, and connection. Food trucks filled the parking lot. Local businesses set up booths, and the laughter of children rang through the air. As the event unfolded, Alex took the stage to address the crowd. "This isn't just about selling cars. It's about building community, fostering relationships and creating lasting impact. We believe everyone deserves a chance, especially those who have served our country. The audience erupted into applause, and he felt an energy coursing through the crowd. He looked out and saw James Cooper among the attendees, sharing stories with fellow veterans, helping bridge the gap between their experiences and the community they were now a part of. Meanwhile, David had organized workshops to teach financial literacy and responsible budgeting for families and individuals struggling financially. He had seen the struggles of customers like Sarah, and he wanted to empower the community with the knowledge to make informed choices. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the dealership, David noticed a family standing to the side, hesitating to enter the bustling event. They looked weary and uncertain, burdened by burdens visible only to those who dared to look closely. He approached them. "Hi there, I'm David. Is there something we can help you with today?" The mother, her eyes downcast, answered softly, "We're just not sure if this is for us. We've fallen on hard times and didn't think we could be part of something like this." "Look," David replied, his tone filled with compassion. "This is for everyone. No matter where you are in life, you're welcome here. Come inside. Let's see how we can help each other." The family slowly entered the warm embrace of the event, and David's heart swelled at the transformation unfolding in real time. This was a ripple effect he had dreamed of, a community coming together to support one another, breaking down barriers and stigma. As the night unfolded, stories were shared, connections were made, and the magic of kindness filled the air. Every smile exchanged, every hand extended, every laugh shared was a testament to how far they had come. The echoes of empathy filled the air, mingling with the scent of delicious food and the sound of joyous chatter. But as they celebrated, an unexpected challenge loomed on the horizon. The board of directors, initially supportive of Alex and David's vision, began to grow concerned with the declining profit margins. They demanded results, and quickly. "Alex, we need to talk," David said one morning, worry etched across his face. "The board is getting antsy. They think this community focus is going to kill our sales." Alex leaned back in his chair, contemplating the challenge. "What if we turn this around? The community outreach isn't just an expense. It's an investment. But we need to find a way to show them tangible results." Together, they brainstormed innovative strategies to tie their community engagement efforts with their sales goals. They decided to donate a percentage of every car sold during the outreach initiatives back to local charities that supported veterans and families in need, creating a tangible connection between sales and social impact. In the following weeks, as they executed their plan, the results began to show. Every vehicle sold came with a heartfelt story shared by the new owners, harnessing the spirit of community and compassion. The donations garnered attention from local media, and the dealership's reputation as a compassionate business soared to new heights. Months passed, and the dealership flourished as a beacon of hope within the community. Grayson Auto Group had become synonymous with compassion, and the ripple effect had evolved into a powerful wave, one that would leave an indelible mark on everyone involved. One evening, after a particularly fruitful community event, Alex received a call from a nationally renowned news network that wanted to feature their story. The producer explained that they had been following the changes at the dealership and wanted to highlight their impactful initiatives on national television. As Alex and David prepared for the interview, excitement bubbled within them. This was their chance to amplify their message. "We need to show the world what compassion can achieve," Alex said, determination glinting in his eyes. The day of the interview arrived, and the studio was charged with energy as the cameras rolled. As Alex spoke about their philosophy, he recounted the challenges they had faced, the obstacles they had overcome, and the powerful stories of customers like Sarah and James. "Every single one of us has the capacity to make a difference," he said, his heart racing with passion. "Compassion in business shouldn't just be a trend, it should be a way of life. When you genuinely care about the people you serve, you not only uplift them, but you uplift yourself and your community." The segment aired with stunning impact, captivating audiences across the nation. Viewers were moved to tears by the stories of transformation, and the dealership suddenly found itself inundated with customers eager to be a part of something greater than just a sale. As the buzz grew, so did their impact. More veteran sought assistance from Grayson Auto Group, and other businesses began reaching out, eager to learn about their model of success. The dealership became a hub of hope, gathering support from local organizations and foundations to assist those in need, far beyond the city limits. Finally, attending an award ceremony one evening, Alex was surprised when they announced Grayson Auto Group as the recipient of the business with a HARP Award. The room erupted in applause as David and Alex took the stage, their hearts swelling with pride. This isn't just an award for us. It represents every member of our community who has dared to dream, who has fought through hardship, and who has risen together, Alex proclaimed, his voice ringing out with conviction. As applause echoed in the room, he looked out at the faces, jaded but hopeful, and he knew their journey was far from complete. With each story they shared, they were rewriting not only the narrative of their company, but also the fabric of their community, creating a legacy where compassion thrived over greed. Years later, Grayson Auto Group evolved into a model for businesses across the nation, championing the idea that profit is a byproduct of purpose. Alex understood that it wasn't merely about selling cars. It was nurturing lives and fostering human connections, forever intertwining commerce with community. As the world outside continued to rush along in its relentless pace, Grayson Auto Group stood firm as a sanctuary of empathy, reminding everyone that being human is the most powerful currency of all. And so, their story continued, a testament to the power of kindness and the incredible impact a single decision can have on countless lives. With each passing day, they forged onward, leaving behind a legacy that would echo in the hearts of many for generations to come.